What's going on, everybody? M4 Actual here, and in this video, we're going to talk about a few things, especially if you've never played an extraction shooter. I myself had to kind of take a little bit of time to learn these things. So hopefully I can streamline the process for you and eliminate, the few hours it took um, to understand what I'm actually looking at here. Without further ado, we're going to talk about some things that you should know before your first couple raids, and that's going to include the workbenches, how to upgrade them, how to track the items to upgrade your bench, how to track your quest, the traders, their cooldown, and your loadouts, which augments will allow which shields, the debuffs that you get for the heavier shields, and we will also discuss the map selection screen. One of the first things you're going to want to focus on when you get into Arc Raiders is your workshop. You're going to have all these benches that you can create, and each workbench has a specific niche, per se, or a specific thing that it does. The reason this is important is because it's going to allow you to create stronger weapons, stronger gear, the further you progress in the game. And early game, you don't really have to spend money on getting these things because you can utilize the resources that you're gathering from the raids to create some of these items. For example, let's just look at the first one here, the Combat MK, which is an augment, which I'll cover later on. And here you see your required resources. This is what you're going to need to craft it, but now I don't have to go and purchase it, right? Now, eventually, as you progress through the game, you're going to want to get stronger gear. And as you can see here, it says required this station to be level 2. So you're going to have to level up. Now, this is what people forget to do. They know they have to level up, and they forget to track the resources. Make sure you don't forget to track the resources. What this does is it'll give it a little eyeball on the corner of the item. It'll look something like this that tells you you need it for a blueprint. Now, blueprints could be for like an upgrade, or it could be a blueprint for a weapon that you don't have yet. Now, if for some reason you forget the things that you are tracking, all you have to do is go to your logbook. So from your inventory, you go to logbook, and you can see everything that you're tracking. As you can see, I'm tracking stuff, mostly stuff for my upgrades, because I prioritize upgrading my crafting bench and upgrading Scrappy. And then on the left, you're going to have all your quests in case you need to know what you have to do and you forget. That's one way to find your quest. There are two other ways to find quest. One of them in the main menu, and the second one being in raid. Just open up your map and you should be able to see your quest there. But then we have this. We have feats. What are feats? Feats are pretty much, think of them like achievements or accomplishments throughout the game that give you something called creds. And with these creds, you go to the decks, and in the decks, you can purchase different types of cosmetics and some items, and even have the opportunity to get some of these Raider tokens, which the only other way to get Raider tokens currently is for you to spend real money. Now, anything you're going to be spending money on, anything that you're actually going to be spending these Raider tokens on, is going to be strictly cosmetics. Okay? We're going to go down here and we're going to look at the store just so you know. If you see, everything in the store that you're paying for currently is cosmetics. Nothing's pay to win, and I don't think the game's ever going to be pay to win. So if you're looking to spend money on this game because you like the cosmetics, then this is where you're going to find it, all right? Now, the next part I'm going to cover because some people have never played an extraction shooter, so I want them to understand the traders, all right? So these traders, they sell specific items. Each trader is going to have a specialty per se, right? So Celeste, she kind of has all these crafting gears, and if you can see on the top right, you see that there's a little clock type deal. What that means is there will be a cooldown once you run out of the stock. So for the duct tape, there's 10 out of 10. There will be a cooldown once I purchase all this before it refills. Okay, so why does a cooldown matter, or why is it important? Let's go over to the gun shop. So here, everybody knows the anvil is a very strong weapon. Even after the nerfs, it's still good. I personally like to run the anvil over the pharaoh, but whatever, that's a topic for another day. But you see that there is a limited supply. So when you click on it, it tells you, okay, limited stock, 2 of 3. I've already purchased one, so I have 2 left. and in 6 hours, it'll go ahead and reset. So I'll have 3 again. What I personally do is because I like this gun, and if you like any of these attachments or things like that and don't want to craft them and want to spend the money for it, you can purchase it and then wait for the clock to reset. Now, what I personally do is once the clock is close to resetting, I purchase all the things I like. That way, it's in my inventory, don't have to worry about it, and then once it resets, bam, I can purchase them again if needed. So, we're going to talk about your loadout. In the loadout, you're going to have this top left corner, which is for augmentation. This is going to control the size of your backpack and it's going to control the type of armor that you can put. For example, if I bring this looting MK1, as you can see, my backpack has more slots, but the only thing I can put here is a light shield. So if I go over to shields, I can put a light shield, good to go. Bam. Now let's say that I'm looking to put a medium shield or above, then I have to change this augment to something else. So for instructional purposes only, we'll put the combat MK1. With the combat MK1, it allows you light shields or medium shields. I don't have any medium shields for this, but a medium shield would be able to go here, and you can see to the right, it says empty slot for light or medium shields. Now, as you get stronger augmentations, you can put stronger shield. So if I get the combat MK2 or 3, I can put a heavy shield here. Now, with shields, you want to be careful. And the reason you want to be careful with the shields is because the heavier the shield, the slower your character moves. Now, there is a skill point in the skill tree that will reduce this 15% reduction speed, but I'll cover that in a skill tree video that I'll be doing later on. Okay, now that we got all of that out the way, we're going to talk about the map selection here. When you're selecting your map, some of these areas are going to be locked in the beginning until you do a certain amount of raids. All right, let's say you have them all unlocked. You're going to see some that are like this, damn battlegrounds, where there's nothing here. And then you're going to see something like this at Blue Gate, where it has a symbol. Each of these symbols are mini events that are happening on the map. For example, this one says the Blue Gate, lush blooms. The weather has been unusually agreeable, blah, blah, blah. Increased amount of nature loot, okay? We go over to Spaceport. This is the Husk Graveyard symbol. What does that do? Oh, it electrifies the first wave of Husk. So what that means is when you're breaching and searching those Husks, right? It's going to release some electricity and it's going to shock you if you don't move. And then they have these special events that are a timed event that come out at certain times. So if you can see for Buried City, this next one is in 47 minutes. So once this timer counts all the way down, this will unlock and you'll be able to play the night maps, which will be more difficult and have better gear. That's pretty much everything that you need to know before logging into your first raid. Now, again, if this is your first extraction shooter, welcome. I hope you enjoy this game as much as I do. Remember, you don't have to always PvP. You have the ability to team up with people. And if you have a friend that is on the fence about getting this game, go ahead, share this video so that way they know what to expect when you eventually convince them to play it. Because this game's amazing, and I don't know why anybody would deny wanting to play this. You should at least give it a shot. If nothing else, until next time, Raiders, see you topside.